Toiling with your blood, I remember something. And being Russian kissing on a night second to last. Finding both your hands, the second sun came past the glass. And oh, I know it felt right, and I had you in my grasp. You see, oh yeah, this plugin is freaking sick.
The first time I heard the song Creeks by Bon Iver, my mind exploded. The vocal production is crazy, and I actually spent months trying to figure out how to recreate it. And then I discovered what I like to call the Bon Iver plugin, which is made by Antares, and it's called Harmony Engine. Now, it's not exactly cheap, but it's also not that expensive, and for me it was worth it to get this effect. I've shown it off in a couple tutorials, and I've gotten a good number of comments asking how I do it. How do I get this vocoder effect? So now I'm going to show you exactly how I do it in Ableton, and if you have the plugin, you can literally recreate this exact sound. So let's get into it. To get this Creeks Bon Iver vocal effect, it's actually only 3 tracks. You got your lead vocal, your harmony engine, and then your MIDI that's telling Harmony Engine which notes to sing. So on my lead vocal, I just have some super hard auto-tune going on. For that, I'm using Waves Tune on these settings. You can pause and copy if you need to. But basically, just pick the key of the song and turn the speed and note transition all the way down. Also, I just got some basic compression and EQ happening here. So after you've got that main vocal, you're actually going to duplicate the main vocal. Then you're going to put Harmony Engine as the first plugin on that track. Hey, it's editor Ethan here. I just realized that could have been a little bit confusing for some of you guys. So just to make it crystal clear, you have one main lead vocal track, then you're going to duplicate that track, and you're going to put Harmony Engine on that duplicated track. And then you're going to make a MIDI track below it, and the MIDI track will tell Harmony Engine what notes to play or what notes to sing. Okay, back to the tutorial. After that, you're going to want to make a MIDI track, and you're going to want to play the chords of the song on that MIDI track. If we double click and open this up, we can see all the different notes I played, and these are just telling Harmony Engine what to sing at any given time in the song. So if we zoom in, we can actually see right here.
Toiling with your blood.
So that's just telling Harmony Engine to sing these notes and then these notes. And it's also helpful to keep in mind that Harmony Engine can only do 4 notes at a time. So if you want to do some crazy vocoder harmony with more than 4 notes, you're just going to have to duplicate the Harmony Engine track and the MIDI track and just make more notes. But I found that 4 seems like more than enough for what I do. So now that we've got our main vocal, our vocoder track, and our MIDI track, all we have to do is go here to the right on the MIDI track and click this arrow where it says master. It might say something different for you, but either way, just click this arrow and we're going to route this to the vocoder track. And then we want to make sure that the first Harmony Engine is selected. And now this MIDI track is telling the vocoder which notes to play. So if we double click on this vocoder track and then we go down here to the left and we click the little tool icon and open up Harmony Engine, we just want to make sure here under Harmony Source, just click this arrow and make sure that it's MIDI Omni. After that, we want to turn this first input all the way down. Otherwise, we would just be duplicating the lead vocal, which we don't want to do. And then here are the 4 different harmonies that it will create. You can adjust the throat length and kind of play with the formant sound of each one. If you pull it down, it'll sound a little bit lighter and sort of younger. And if you push it up, it'll sound a bit thicker and more masculine. The last thing I do is also play with MIDI velocity sensitivity. And this just means that the way that you're playing the notes into the MIDI affects how loud certain voices are. So the higher this MIDI velocity sensitivity is, the more dynamics you're going to get from your playing. And the lower it is, the less dynamics. For me personally, I like the vocoder to kind of be the same volume all the way across the spectrum. So I keep this MIDI velocity sensitivity a lot lower. Other than that, you're totally welcome to explore different things in the plugin, but that's all that I know and use in the plugin, and I get some really cool vocal effects from it. It's super simple, the vocoder adds such a cool texture, and you can even sneak it into certain songs, and it makes stuff sound so much better, and it's kind of like a je ne sais quoi type thing, where people can't quite put their finger on what it is, but it just makes stuff sound really cool. Even in this section of the song, the vocal totally clips. You can see it peaking right here, and it still sounds so cool.
And I had you in my grasp.
Like the way that the vocoder masks and enhances imperfections is incredible. The last thing I'll mention is this is kind of tough to pull off in a live situation because there's going to be latency, and I haven't found a way around it, and that's sort of what keeps this mystery of how Bon Iver does it live, and also people like Jacob Collier do it as well. I'm sure if I did some research I could learn a thing or two, but honestly this method is good enough for me, and I hope it's inspired you to try it out and see if it's something that you want to implement into your songs as well. I know that Antares has like a 14-day free trial, but then it'll charge you if you don't cancel before the end of the trial. So you could try this out for 13 days and see if it's something that you'll actually use. To me, this is head and shoulders above the Ableton vocoder, or honestly any other vocoder plugin I've ever used. Especially because you can adjust all the different formats manually, you can pan each voice to the left and to the right, there's vibrato and all these different settings for each voice, and it's a really powerful plugin. Normally I do more like broad tip videos to appeal to a larger audience, and this is obviously super specific, but I got so many comments about it that I just had to make this video. If you liked it and you have any feedback or questions, comments, concerns, whatever it is, you can comment down below. I read all the comments, and I'm so thankful for every one of my subscribers. And I'm also thankful that you spent some time with me today. Remember to stop making excuses and start making music. Cheers.